Folks, how are we doing today? All right, so today I wanted to compare my favorite QQQ covered call ETFs in the marketplace and compare them to my least favorite. We'll look at the comparisons on the price return and the total return. So let's just jump right into this quick fit. All right, guys. So first and foremost, thank you to the 80 members that have joined the Patreon. I cannot thank you enough. If you want financial coaching or access to all the calculators that I've put into the Patreon, please join us up. Please join in the community. I'll leave a link to the in the comment section below in the description section to jump into the Patreon community. We'd love to have you on board. All right, guys. So I put together a list of my favorite QQQ covered call ETFs. These are going to be ETFs with the underlying asset of primarily the QQQ, except QDBO has a little bit of an augmentation, but it is still very tech oriented. So I've added it in here. But for the most part, all the rest are QQQ underlying asset covered call ETFs. Okay. And I've ranked them by my favorite. And so let's just go right off the list. Okay. So my number one favorite is QQQI. I'm the QQQI fanboy. I'm the Neos fanboy. Number one asset for me in this list. The second on this list for me is going to be GPIC, which is Goldman Sachs' Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF. The third, and it is also very, very strong and maybe even has better performance, we will look at it right now, is Amplify's QDVO, which has a great combination of growth and income. Next on my list is going to be QQQH. Okay, guys? QQQH is the hedged version of QQQI. So we include some puts, some options of puts to hedge ourselves during down markets. All right. And this, we'll do another video on this, but this can be a very good protection ETF for bear periods. And the next on my list is going to be IQQQ, and these are from ProShares. And really, you'll notice that, guys, a lot of these are very, very new funds, very, very new. Truly, they've only been out for 1 to 2 years. QQQH has been out on, it says here for a little longer, but I got to double check that if that's accurate. But primarily, it's been 1 to 2 years for a lot of these. All right. And then the ones I really don't love, here's a list that I'm really kind of not loving, and that's JEPQ. That's from JP Morgan. I know it's a very popular one, but we'll look at why I'm not super, super, super big into it. Now, it has performed okay, but for me, the performance hasn't kept up with the QQQIs of the world. Global X's QYLD, not a huge fan. It has a lot of history. The only benefit of it is it's been around for quite a while, but I'm not in love with it. And Round Hills QDTE. All right, QDTE. It's not pleasant as well. Very high expense ratio, a lot of NAV decay, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. All right. So let's look at all of these. Let's look at all of these from a price return standpoint. Okay. So for the past year, and again, some of these have very short time spans. They haven't been out for too long, but they've all been at least out for a year. So that's going to be our comparison time frame. It's going to be a year. So for price return, QQQI 4%. Price return, guys. So the NAV is growing. GPIC 8.85%. This is a covered call NASDAQ 100 ETF with a 8.85% price return. Yes, we've been in a bull run, but that is what we want to see from even a covered call ETF. We want to see price appreciation. QDBO 13% price appreciation. Phenomenal. Past 1 year. QQQH 6.28%, right? So you can see it's price appreciating stronger than its sister in QQQI, which is at 4%. Okay. IQQQ 4.61%, which is okay. JEPQ 4.22%. Remember price return, so not the total return. Then QYLD, this is where we have our NAV erosion, guys. QYLD negative 6%. QDTE negative 17%. Watch out for this ton of stuff, guys. Watch out for what Roundhill is doing. Okay. This is not financial advice, but do your due diligence. Okay. Now let's look at the total return. And you'll see a different story across the board for total return. So total return, QQQI, because it has such a strong distribution yield, so 21% total return, GPIC right under it at 20.9%. QDVO beats them both and maybe the strongest on this list at 25% total return over the past year. QQQH does lag, right? Because it's not going to capture as much upside due to its put structure. It's at 15.44%, but you're getting less volatility in a sense, and you're getting still great returns. All right, IQQQ 18% total return. Okay, JEPQ 16%, QYLD 6%, and QDTE, okay, 18%. So QDTE makes up for it with a really high distribution, but the NAV decay. We don't want NAV decay. We want a nice balance of both growth and income. Growth and income, okay? Now let's look at their distribution rates, the dividend yields of the past trailing 12 months. So QQQI, 13.61%, GPIC, about 10%, QDVO, almost 9%, QQQH, 8.5%, right? So that's a lot less than QQQI, right? You are sacrificing your yields for the benefit of the hedge. If you want the protection, you sacrifice a bit on the yield and really just on the yield, right? You get a little more price appreciation almost because of the hedge. IQQQ 11%, just really good. JEPQ 10.64%, QYLD 13%, and QDTE, right, guys, 36%. So they're going to NAV decay you, but they're going to give you a really high distribution. Now, there's one more ETF that I didn't speak on, and that's TDAC. It's because it's super, super new, so I haven't added it in. But TDAC is definitely one to watch out for. It's very new, and I think it's one that even in a short period, we've seen a 3.47% price return, and they'll have their first distribution very soon. I'm assuming very, very soon. I haven't looked into it specifically, but once they have some distributions and some more time under their belt, TDAC I believe will be in my top four for QQQ cover call ETFs. But guys, am I missing any cover call ETFs for the QQQs? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like my list? Does it make sense to you? Are there others that you prefer? Do you like JEPQ instead of QQQI because of the brand name? Let me know in the comments below. As always, sub to the channel, and let's continue to build this community, guys. Let's build income-oriented investors that focus on safety, focus on conservatism as it relates to NAV protection, and continue to see growth in our portfolios. So all the best and cheers.